Hello everyone and welcome to our webinar, Study Psychology at the leading university in Hungary. My name is Agape and I'm the admission coordinator of the Faculty of Education and Psychology. And before I give the floor to the presenters today, let me briefly summarize the structure of the webinar. First, Orida Kish, the deputy head of the Institute of Psychology, will talk about our psychology programs. Then I myself will talk about the admission procedure and the entrance exams. And last but not least, our graduating student from BA Psychology and at the same time, our applicant for our Master in Psychology program, Ala Akrir, will talk about her own perspective related to her life in Hungary. So, Dea, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Welcome everyone who are interested to our Psychology BA, MA and PhD program at the Faculty of Education and Psychology, Eötvös Loránd University. My name is Orida Kish. I am Program Coordinator of Psychology BA program and also Deputy Head of Institute of Psychology. In the next few minutes, I would like to provide you a brief introduction on our study, Psychology BA, MA and Psychology PhD program. Our faculty has 4 institutes as Institute of Psychology, Institute of Health, Promotion and Sport Science, Institute of People, Environment, Transaction, Institute of Education, Institute of Research and on Adult Education and Knowledge Management, Institute of Intercultural Psychology and Education, and 2 other institutes in other cities in Hungary. Institute of Psychology is located directly in the heart of the historical city center, within walking distance of the city's administrative, business, and cultural districts, as well as the famous shopping areas of Budapest. The building is also next to the majority of Budapest's main cultural attractions. Our institute is the biggest institute of the faculty. More than 120 colleagues cooperate in Psychology BA, MA, and Psychology PhD program. And we also cooperate with more than 50 partners, which provide possibilities for research and fieldwork practices. We also have a lot of international partners and an extended Erasmus program for all educational levels. As I mentioned earlier, we offer to our international students a Psychology BA program, which is a 3-year study and leading to becoming a human behavior analyst, then Psychology MA program, which is 2-year study. These 2 programs are necessary for becoming psychologists, but after Psychology BA program, our students could choose other MA programs as well, for example, cognitive science, human resource management, MA educational MA, and so on. Furthermore, after MA program, we offer Psychology PhD program, which is 4-year, more precisely 2 + 2-year study, and leading to becoming life science researcher who has knowledge, skills, competencies to be able to do independently scientific research in the field of psychology. Let me present you Psychology BA program in details. This program will be fulfilled in 6 semesters and collecting 180 credits, learning about the most specific issues in the domain of psychology. Students have possibilities for scheduling their study progress, but we have some professional recommendations providing a curriculum for our students with some strict prerequisites. Some courses, for example, some seminars, practices, research fields, and optional courses give possibilities for choosing teachers and researchers as supervisor. Do not forget that this 3-year is not enough to becoming a psychologist. The name of the acquired degree is Human Behavior Analyst. In the aim of becoming psychologist, our students need to join our Psychology MA program, which consists 6 different specializations and can be fulfilled in 2 years. Starting this program needs a new admission process. On the next slides, I will present you shortly the curriculum of the Psychology BA program. The aim of this program is to train professionals who are well prepared in the theoretical foundations and basic methods of psychology. Therefore, in the first 2 semesters, we teach to our students biological aspects of psychology, neuroscience, statistical methods, and some bordering sciences as philosophy, evolutionary psychology, and behavioral genetics, anthropology, culture and society, economic psychology, media, and psychology of communication. Then, in the second semester, our students will start to learn cognitive, affective psychology, and social psychology, and some specific methods related to personality measures using tests and questionnaires. In the second year, our students continue to study cognitive psychology, social psychology, and will start to learn developmental and personality psychology as well. All 4 fields involve presentation of basic theories and also seminars, practices, and all of them are finished by fulfillment of very strict comprehensive exam. Moreover, students need to perform a research in all 4 fields. Courses as research field practice in cognitive, affective, in social, in developmental, and in personality psychology mean to perform a pilot research. Parallel with these researches, our students continue to learn about methodology of making interviews, observations, methods of planning neuropsychological research, and so on. Furthermore, we emphasize the importance of consciousness in ethical issues as well. For becoming human behavior analyst, there are some compulsory courses. Psychological skill training subject could be fulfilled by performing 4 or 5 optional courses, which could be freely selected from more options. That's some examples for courses: psychology and technology, autogenic training, working with groups, digitalization of human resource processes, work addiction, and so on. In the last 3rd year, students will be familiar with practical application of learned theories. Students will be introduced in more specific domains as clinical psychology, work and organizational psychology, psychology of counseling, health and educational psychology. All of them give significant help for selection of specialization after starting the MA program. Simultaneously, students will prepare a complete empirical research on one of main fields of psychology: developmental, social, cognitive, affective, or personality psychology work, which in fact is a very important element of the portfolio of the thesis. In thesis seminar, course students could choose a supervisor for preparing this empirical study. As you have seen on the previous slides, the curriculum contains recommended semesters and it is planned in a professional way. The curriculum contains strong prerequisites when 2 courses must be fulfilled in different semesters, and weak prerequisites when courses can be fulfilled in the same semester. Here is an example for strong prerequisites. The affective psychology is recommended in the 2nd semester, but students could register on it just if they fulfilled the introduction to psychology in a previous 1st semester. In the 2nd example, neuroscience could be fulfilled just students have already fulfilled the biological psychology, but in this case they can be joined together in the same semester. Okay. Just a minute. I need to find my, yes, this is the slide. I already spoken about research type courses, but again more detailed. Students must prepare for pilot research on the cognitive, affective, social, developmental, and personality psychology in the aim of showing the way the students are able to apply their theoretical knowledge and methodological skills which they have acquired in the relevant field of psychology. Examples for topic: collecting references, data collection, data analysis, preparing a poster or presentation, preparing research, and so on. All research fields and complete study are conducted by supervisors, and students participate in activities of research groups. It means that students can choose from topic offered by our colleagues. The portfolio type thesis is one of the requirements for completing your studies. It involves 1 complete study, reports on the research field practices on a maximum of 3 fields. the supervisor's evaluation of the complete study, a self-reflection, an outline of the presentation of the complete study. The final examination consists of the defense and discussion of the complete research and presentation of a self-reflection. The institute can offer a large variety of topics. As you can see, we are a bigger institute with 8 departments. All of them is responsible for an important field of psychology. The departments are following: Department of Affective Psychology, Department of Clinical and Addiction, Department of Developmental and Clinical Child Psychology, Department of Organizational and Leadership Psychology, Department of Cognitive Psychology, Department of Personality and Health Psychology, Department of Educational Psychology and of Psychology of Counseling, and Department of Social Psychology. Moreover, on this slide you can check our research groups, which lead research and offer a variety of research topics, giving possibility to students for preparing research field papers, theses, and giving possibility for using different research and methods as well. And now let me introduce you our Psychology MA program. The aim of the program is to train psychology professionals who master the theories and methods of science of psychology at an advanced level, who are proficient in the various fields of psychology, who possess the skills and techniques of the psychologist profession, and are able to apply these to help individuals, groups, and organizations develop and improve. Further aims are to establish professional skills and commitment for the profession within the field of psychology, to participate in postgraduate courses, and to attend further training in PhD programs. The design of the Psychology MA program is characterized by integrated professional and theoretical knowledge. After the successful admission process, students can select from different specializations. However, they will start their education with common courses. Parallel with some common courses, they can join some courses of the chosen specialization, and they will have possibility for choosing modules as well. Here you can see the courses of the common part of the program. All of our students will learn together advanced statistical methods and more sophisticated testing and research methods independently for chosen specialization. For getting a common level efficiency, we plan an e-learning course for discussing some cognitive, developmental, social, and personality psychological issues on higher academic level. Simultaneously with the basics, students can join courses which discuss in more interesting manner different topics related to the 4 main fields of psychology. Some examples are the psychology of adaptation, the psychology of empathy and assistance, culture and psychology, gender in psychology, and so on. In the first and second semesters, we develop communicational skills and we discuss ethical and professional issues, all of them in field-specific way. That means that we develop skills used specific in clinical or on developmental or on counseling domains. In the third and fourth semesters, our students start to prepare their thesis, which has 2 different parts, a research part and an applied part. Research part is a scientific piece of work, should follow the general requirements of a scientific research and publication, completed individually under the direction of a supervisor. The purpose is to demonstrate students' proficiency and creativity within the relevant field, to research more extensively the chosen topic, to show that students are able to carry out scientific research and publication while maintaining high professional standards. In the case of applied part, the purpose is to provide the opportunity to demonstrate practical proficiency in a given field of psychology, to demonstrate the ability to use skills in practical use. Okay. After the successful admission, our students can choose between 6 specializations. These are developmental and clinical child psychology specialization, clinical and health psychology specialization, cognitive psychology specialization, work and organizational psychology specialization, counseling and educational psychology specialization, social and organizational psychology specialization. However, because in the past we had applicants interested mainly in clinical and counseling psychology, we started 3 specializations in the past, and we are planning to start the same specializations likewise the last year. That is developmental and clinical child psychology specialization, clinical and health psychology specialization, and counseling and educational psychology specialization. Okay, let's see some courses of developmental and clinical health specialization. You can join courses as development and mental health in infancy and early childhood, child and adolescent psychiatry, the biological foundations of psychology, child psychodiagnostics, special features of the socialization in the family, pedagogical psychology, interventions for child and adolescents' mental disorders, and continuous fieldwork. On this slide, you can see the main topics of the most popular specialization. Choosing the clinical and health psychology specialization, you can join courses as interview techniques and basic skills in clinical psychology, psychopathology, health psychology, clinical health psychology, psychodiagnostics and clinical case presentation, neuropsychology, psychopharmacology and addiction, methods of psychoeducation and motivational interviewing, child and adolescent psychiatry, theories of psychotherapy and psychological interventions, plus evidence-based methods, continuous fieldwork in clinical psychology, and continuous fieldwork in health psychology. Looking on the courses, you can see that this specialization has 2 phases, 2 focuses, partly teach theories and methodologies related to clinical issues, but partly discuss health psychology issues as well. Consistently with this, here we have 2 different continuous fieldworks. One is about giving experiences on clinical psychology domain in 60 hours, and one give practical experiences on health psychology domains in other 60 hours. And on this slide can be followed the courses of counseling and educational psychology specializations. Students can join courses as Introduction to School Psychology, Psychological Counseling, the Cognitive and Emotional Foundations of School Success, School Psychodiagnostics, Group Counseling, focuses on psychological counseling, the Social Psychology of School, Prevention and Intervention in School, Crisis Counseling, Diagnostics in Psychological Counseling, and Continuous Fieldwork. Looking on the courses, you can see that this specialization has 2 phases as well. Partly teach theories and methodologies related to counseling, but partly discuss school psychological issues as well. In the MA program, all our specializations have continuous fieldworks which take 120-150 hours, and all of them have a special characteristic. For all fieldworks, we have partner institutions in Hungary or international partners. This could be performed in Hungarian institutes or at home as well, if a student could find institute at her or his country. Near the basic courses, students must choose other 3 courses from a compulsory module, and they need to collect 12 credits. We have more modules, and students must choose one of them. Furthermore, they need to collect other 12 credits by joining optional courses from any modules or any courses of the university. What about the modules? Here is an example for psychodiagnostics and psychopathology module with following courses: Rorschach test, diagnostic methods of dynamic psychology, diagnostic methods of cognitive and behavioral therapy, the outer spectrum, suicidology, mental disorders, and so on. And the other module is the psychological interventions module with its courses as multicultural counseling and psychotherapy, introduction to analytical dynamic psychotherapy, CBT skills development, harm reduction interventions in chemical and behavioral addiction, evidence-based interventions in functional disorders. And now let me introduce you our psychological PhD program. What about our PhD program? We offer joining PhD program for students who wish to pursue research-oriented career, are interested in theoretical and methodological issues, are open to widen their methodological and statistical knowledge, are curious and are willing to devote time and effort to read many papers in order to develop a good research question, to run a good study and to publish it, and want to think independently and critically. We provide 6 programs, consists of specialized modules. These are clinical psychology and addictology program, cognitive psychology program, behavioral psychological program, sports and health psychophysiology program, personality and health psychological program, psychology program, and socialization and social processes program. They cover all major fields of psychology, from gene to society. Students need to accomplish 3 modules, 2 which provides the theoretical and empirical building blocks for students' thesis work. The schools promotes collaborations between different fields of study. The courses are taught by internationally recognized researchers, and the school promotes international publications, conference participation, and research collaboration. PhD program is 2 + 2 year study and leading to becoming a researcher or practitioner with psychology PhD degree. By the end of your work, you can end up with a PhD degree, international recognition with at least 3 international publications, which is a very strict requirement of getting PhD degree, a good resume for a better postdoc position, and good memories and some Hungarian friends plus a few Hungarian words. Okay, and very shortly about the admission process. You need to develop a research plan in which you need to figure out your preferred topic, the research question, the planned methodology, and possible results. It is important to contact your chosen supervisor before the admission and discussing with him/her your research plan. You can check the potential topic and supervisor on our webpage. And all other information related to admission process will be available on our webpage, and you can ask directly our international office as well. Thank you for your attention. I will check your questions and I will try to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Dea. And I'm wondering if we have questions related to the presentation. We have a few more minutes if you have now questions related to the program. Dea, could you reply to this?
Yes, of course. I will read all questions and I try to answer by chat. Okay?
Okay. Okay, then. So we are looking forward to have the questions. And in the meantime, I will then talk about the admission procedure in details and the entrance exams. But before that, I will also talk a little bit about our faculty itself. Bernie, could you upload my presentation? Thank you. Oh, this is theirs, I guess. Okay. So, welcome to all of you. I'm the admission coordinator for our Faculty of Education and Psychology. My name is Agape. And who you can see on this picture is our great physicist called Eötvös Loránd, hence the name for our university. So our motto is everything that is human. I think it might sound a bit enigmatic as of right now for most of you, but I'm sure within a few minutes you will understand why we chose this as our slogan. So let's see what I'm going to talk about. First, why you should consider studying at PPK. Then I will present some statistics. Then I will go on with the application procedure. And finally, at the end, I will talk about the entrance exams. So why PPK? By the way, PPK is the abbreviation for our faculty's name. So why should you study with us? Because PPK is a place of progress of Hungarian pedagogy and psychology for more than 100 years now. We have always had the leading representatives of Hungarian higher education and science. So far, we have had 2 Nobel laureates related to the field of psychology. PPK is the place of integration of psychology, education sciences, and sport and health sciences. In psychology, we are on the top 300 in world rankings. We have a unique atmosphere at our campuses, but what does it mean exactly? There is a warm and friendly interpersonal spirit between students, teachers, and administrative staff. There is an ideal student-teacher ratio with a tutorial-like atmosphere, and we have a strong administrative capacity to help facilitate student life. And although the overall enrollment rate has been dropping in Hungary for a few last years, our student body has been always continually increasing. And last but not at least, as Dea mentioned, our campuses are located in the downtown of Budapest and also outside of Budapest in another city. And the Budapest campuses are easily accessible by transport or bike, and there are a lot of places to eat out and enjoy the vivid culture of the capital. We are a strongly international faculty, but what does it mean? We have more than 60 partner universities, so students have plenty of time, plenty of places to go for part-time scholarships, traineeships, or conferences, for example, with Erasmus+, including international credit mobility or CEPUS. We have also bilateral agreements and networks. We have regular guest students and lecturers visiting our institutions. We are active in international research groups, and our teachers and students have international publications with international colleagues and collaborations. Let's turn to the statistics part. We offer 1 Bachelor of Science, 4 Master of Science, 1 Bachelor of Art, 4 Master of Arts, 1 Master of Science, and 2 PhD programs entirely in English. We have more than 4,000 active students, approximately 500 international students, and more or less 200 lecturers. And on the picture, you can see our graduating students at the graduation ceremony. And now in the first 3 columns, you see our psychology-related programs and the number of students we have at each program. Approximately, we have 180 students at our Bachelor in Psychology, then approximately 100 students at the Master of Psychology program, and finally, approximately 30 at the PhD in Psychology. And what we have created an infographic to describe the general application guideline. You see the figure, it can be you, an applicant. So you are on the ground floor and you start uploading your application documents, you collect your original education certificates, thus preparing your application package. Then you go on and submit your application by the given deadline. And if your application is eligible and accepted, you will be invited for an entrance exam within a month from the submission of the application. You can see the little envelope with the invitation card. Then the entrance exam takes place via an MS Teams interview. And within a month from the entrance exam, you will be notified of the result of the exam. And with the positive decision in your hand, you can start arranging your arrival, the visa and accommodation, the visa procedure and accommodation, for example, beyond other duties. And finally, you need to arrive by the 1st of September. And then within a few years, hats off, you are an ELTE PPK graduate and alumni. So I would like to show you our program-specific application webline. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Just a sec. This is our website. You see our 3 psychology-related programs, and let's choose Psychology MA. And here you have all the necessary information you need to have for a successful submission of application. And there are 4 tabs I would like to draw your attention to: the entry requirements, the list of application documents, the application deadline, and the procedure of the entrance examination. I think my colleague has put the link in the chat, so you can easily access it from the chat. So let's get back to my slide. Bernie, can you change? Thank you. So some tips and tricks that I would like to share with you related to the application procedure. Before submitting the application, make sure you fill out not only the required parts on the application platform, but preferably all, so that the examination committee has a complete picture about you. The more information they have on you, the more correctly they can assess your application. And although at bachelor and master's level, the deadline of application is the 15th of July, we do recommend earlier submission to guarantee arriving in time. The visa procedure can be lengthy, for example, and you need to arrive by the 1st of September, as I have mentioned before. And just a note, the deadline of application for PhD is the 25th of May. And what else is good to know related to the application? We do not require any language certificate, but you must have a very good command of English, at least a C1 level. The language skills are assessed during the interview. And a few words about the translation of your educational certificates. You need to upload not only your original education certificates in the original language, but also their English translations. They can be either issued by your university in English or can be translated by a certified translator. All educational certificates need to be sealed and signed. There is one application document that is compulsory for master's and PhD level. This is the reference work. It can be any paper written by you in English within the field of psychology. It should be an empirical work. It can be, for example, a thesis extract, a research paper, a seminar paper, a research report, a published journal article, or a book chapter, a case study, a literature review. It should be between 5 and 15 pages. And some general guidelines related to the entrance exam. The committee needs to see what you wish to accomplish during the semesters are in balance with what the specific program can offer. They assess your knowledge or experience on the field, your academic background or earlier studies, your motivation and future plans, and a big emphasis is laid upon the English language skills, of course. And what you should consider before the exam, some tips and tricks again. I would suggest that you read one more time your application, as the committee will probably ask you questions related to what is in it, what you have written about yourself, your reference work, your motivation letter, your CV. In case of masters, for example, refresh your earlier studies and experience on the fields, for example, research methodology, statistics, and so on. And always think about your own personal and professional motivation. And please, finally, avoid too general remarks and do not praise our institution too much. So what happens concretely during the BA and MA psychology entrance exams? You receive an article 1 hour before the exam via email. Then you have 60 minutes, an hour to read it, to understand it, to take notes. You can use anything during this preparation time. And then after, during the exam, you are asked to summarize the article, to analyze it, and to say some critical remarks, for example, how you would improve the given research. For BA level, the article is from a popular psychology magazine, and the committee checks whether you have adequate vocabulary to understand the topic and sees to what extent you are familiar with the basics and whether you have text analyzing skills. For MA level, the articles are always peer-reviewed and are from academic journals. And finally, about the PhD in psychology, as Dea mentioned, a supervisor from PPK is recommended because that's the way how you guarantee that in case of a successful entrance exam, you will have a place in the given doctoral program. Our office gives all support to find you a supervisor. The research topic of the candidate should fit the profile of the doctoral program. The exam itself is a 30-minute long conversation with usually the head of the doctoral program and other professors about the research plan, its feasibility, about the candidate's previous academic path, publications, results, research, and of course, again, the English language skills are very important when assessing your application at doctoral level. So that was all for today. I thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions or comments, ask them in the chat now or later on. You have my email address. And that's our application portal. And may I ask my colleague to put this in the chat so you can apply now and hope to see you in September. Thank you. And now I would like to ask Ala, our student, to give her presentation or talk.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So, hello everyone. I am Ala Akrir from Morocco, and I have been studying at PPK from 2018. So, I'm currently in my 3rd year, and I'm preparing my thesis. I'm supposed to graduate in June. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my international student experience at PPK, at ELTE, and in Budapest. So I have accumulated quite a lot of experience, memories, and good moments in this beautiful city, because it's been 3 years now. So first, I'm going to start talk about the program a little, the faculty. So the BA Psychology program at PPK, I think, is very good and concise in terms of the content. What I mean by that is there is so the 4th department, developmental, personality, social, and cognitive. There is very very intensive classes in every topic in all the 4 departments. So you get a very good and broad understanding of the main topics in psychology. So the theoretical background, you're sure that you have a strong theoretical background to start with. And then again, what I really like about the curriculum and the system at PPK is the autonomy. So as a student, you have a great autonomy in choosing how to organize your subjects, your curriculum, and your progress within the 3 years. So you have the compulsory subjects and the elective subjects. I saw someone who asked if there is any chance to sign up for other subjects. And yes, you have to get 10 credits from elective subjects that are outside of the psychology curriculum. So yeah, I was saying you get a very strong theoretical background, and yeah, it's very autonomous, which I really like, because not all people are the same, and you would probably prefer to take this subject and not this one, and probably this one first and then the other later. So that's good. And yeah, there is a broad range of other subjects from other faculties and departments that you can take part in. Yeah, and again, about the content, I think the way the professors approach the topics and the theories and the textbooks, it's very good in a way that it gives you a very broad perspective. So you can go and do your own reading and do your own research, and they just give you, I feel like you get a really good and broad perspective about everything that's out there. And then there is the library with a lot of books. So yeah. Next, I want to talk about the international office. So as international students, it's a bit hard sometimes to find your way through the administration, through the online system sometimes. But yeah, the international office, I think they're doing a great job in guiding students in this regard. So they are very responsive, very quick. So it's not you don't feel like you are an international student or you don't speak the language or anything, because they're always there for you. And yeah, I want to talk again about the research field practices, which are courses or classes that I really like, because they give you time to prepare and to practice the research papers. So you get to write and you get to read articles. You get to critically think about articles, to make connections about theories, and creatively generate your own hypothesis and ideas about different topics. So that gets you prepared for the thesis at the last semester. So this is something I really like about the curriculum again. And yeah, overall, the curriculum, the classes, the professors, it's a great experience I've had so far. And everyone is very helpful. Everyone is there to help you, basically, to get whatever information you need. And about Budapest, well, all I can say is that it's a wonderful city. It's too bad that there is COVID now, and it's been a little bit hard to have the best experience ever. But yeah, during my first year, I got to really travel around the country, not just the city, and I can say that Hungary is a very beautiful country, and Budapest is literally a very nice city for everyone who likes to spend time in a historical city with a really, really, really good historical background, very beautiful architecture, very beautiful buildings. There is Also spaces for everything, coffee shops, restaurants, mountains for hiking, whatever you like, you will find it here. Whatever activity you're doing in your country, you will definitely find it here. You can continue doing it here. And I think that's it. You just need a little motivation and you're good to go with PPK. Yeah, about the entrance exam. Well, I've had 2 entrance exams so far, the BA one and the master's one. And both of them I had similar experiences. So you get the article, you get plenty of time to prepare, 1 hour to read the article, go through it, understand it. And then there is the meeting with the professor who's going to evaluate you. And the meeting is basically just a very simple conversation about your own motivations, your personal plans, your aspirations, about your career plans, and about the article, of course. And one advice that I can give to everyone who is willing to take the interview is just to make sure that you are motivated enough to carry on with the studies, because they really want to check that you have the enough enthusiasm, because when you have enough enthusiasm, then you can basically easily do whatever task you have to do later on in the program, in the 3 years or the 2 years. So yeah, just make sure you're motivated well enough. It's really just a very basic conversation. The professors are generally very nice, and they are just there to make sure that you are motivated enough and you have the basic knowledge background. And that's about it. If there's any question to answer. Is master's for 2 years? Yeah, the master's is for 2 years.
And BA is 3 years, 6 semesters. So thank you, Ala, and now we can have the questions and we can answer to them. So in my country, to become a licensed clinical psychologist, I am supposed to complete 1,000 hours of clinical training. Does the university offer only 75? As it was written in the chat, there is no 1,000 hours of clinical trainings.
Agape, I can't hear you. I think I have a problem, probably.
Oh. Can others hear me?
Oh.
Bernie? Can...
Yes, we can hear you, Agape.
Okay, then Allah has a problem.
We can hear Allah as well.
Okay. So, any other questions? Okay, then I think we can still wait a few more minutes if you still have questions, and if not, then we'll encourage you to apply, and before applying, you can always turn to us. Yes, there are scholarship opportunities, and there is no age limit for scholarship opportunities. And on this applyppk.elte.hu, I'm going to put again under the Study in Hungary tab in each program specific part, there are these scholarship opportunities. But actually for next term, so for the September intake 2021, the deadline of application for the scholarships are already passed. Any other question? It's a very good question. No, we don't require any concrete GPA or mark or score. We assess the overall application. But of course, we consider your grades, but there is no limit. No GPA requirement, but of course, we check your marks and scores in high school, for example, or during your bachelor studies in case of a master application, for example. Any other question? Yeah, okay. Yes, so you mean you won't have your educational certificates ready by the end of the application deadline. So what we require in this situation is that you ask your institution to give you an official statement that because of the pandemic, for example, you will have your grades and this date. So, for example, July 2021 or August 2021. And it's very important that you must have your original certificates by the time you arrive to our school in September, because enrollment is with the authentic and original study certificate. Okay? But if you can ask your institution to provide you with a so-called degree certificate stating that, yes, you are graduating and this time, and you will have your degree by midsummer or end of summer. Okay? I have 2 BA degrees. Do I still have to give you my high school's transcript? So for bachelor level, we require high school certificates. For master level, we require bachelor certificates. For PhD level, we require master certificates. So as I have mentioned, we do not require any language certificate. So what I can say is that you must have a very good command of English, which should be around C1 according to European Union reference. I don't know how many IELTS is that. Any other question? Okay. Welcome. Feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer. Maybe one important thing to mention is that the entry requirement for the master in psychology is to have a bachelor in psychology. For PhD in psychology, we accept any kind of master degree. Any other question? I'm not sure what you mean by research paper. The reference work is necessary. So a research paper can be as a reference work. So reference work can be anything you have written during your earlier studies. In this case, during your bachelor studies. For a class, or you did a research. So if you mean this, then yes, a research paper can be used as a reference work. Yeah, no problem. I think my colleague has put the site for the dorm in the chat. So we have an office who treats dormitories. So you should ask your questions through that link. We have a housing office who helps internationals. Welcome again. Anything else? It's your time. Use it up. Yes, I will put my email address again directly. This is the admission-related queries. And this one will be for the program-related queries. Any other question? We still have time. If not, then I think that's the end, and we thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you during the application period, and then hopefully in real life in September, we'll see. Okay, then stay safe and have a nice day. Bye-bye.